when you think you see her face in the crowd. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry, is what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't cry. No more shopping in the hall, only empty spaces. Brand new kitchens, black and white. I feel the house is dying, and I'm inside. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry, is what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't Every time I think of you, I just break down. I miss you more than I ever could
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and I hope you've had a good start to the week. That was Don't Cry. Thank you for voting for that one over on Patreon, and that's featuring my sister in the video, who I've mentioned over on Patreon is going to be attending the premiere that I'm going to in probably 2.5 weeks, something like that. It's Sunday the 14th, but that's the premiere of the documentary, or the rockumentary as it should be called, and it is called, on the band Fanny. And she will be attending with me, taking some pictures and helping me to take some pictures, because going by myself would have been a bit of a nightmare, but she's going to get a bit of a day off from my nephews anyway. Hello everybody, let me get you up on screen and see who is in the house tonight. And we have Susan and Dennis in there moderating. Hello, guys. And we have Corey, Lisa, Kevin, Neil moderating, Patrick, Roberta, Roberto or Roberta, and Maria. It was too fast for me to be able to read. So there's Robert in there as well, and Dan and Dwayne and Steve and Lisa. When it slows down a little bit, and Patrick, I get a chance to see the names a little bit more clearly, but it was Roberta. I was right in the first place. So hello guys, thank you for joining me on tonight's live stream, which is the 195,000 subscriber celebration live stream even though we always live stream on a Tuesday anyway, but we're giving it that title tonight because of the fact that I think last night we just passed 195,000 subscribers. So a big hello to any new subscribers, and thank you guys for hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell, clicking on that and all that cool stuff. It is much appreciated. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen as well, because they make this all possible in the first place, all the live streams and every single video that I do on the channel. And you can see that up in the corner we do have the 195,000 subscriber live celebration. I think last time that's what set the whole live stream software just off on one, and then it just froze for ages. But fortunately tonight, because I've cleaned everything up and got rid of a lot of the files that were just sitting dormant in the software, I think hopefully we'll be okay for a little while longer before I then have to do exactly the same thing again. But we are live and it's all flowing and it's all good at the moment, and fingers crossed that will continue. So a big thank you to these people at the bottom of the screen. You know who you are, and they also pop up in the super chat window and the PayPal donations window as well. So tonight we're going to be having a pick roulette. We're going to be having a t-shirt roulette because we landed on it twice last week, which is crazy. We have a saying in this country that you wait for a bus all day and then two come along at once. And that was very much the case with the t-shirt roulette. We haven't landed on one in, I don't know, 6 months. And then last week we landed on two. So, let's see. Oh, there seems to be some kind of action going on in the super chat window, which I will jump into now. It looks like Robert has donated $50. Thank you for that, Robert. And that's a straight up donation. And Carla has donated $4.99. And Carla is a moderator, of course, as you guys all know. Carla says lots having problems posting, including me. Leave and come back. That's I don't know why that just reminded me of Lord of the Rings, saying leave now and never come back. That's anyway what Gollum is saying to himself. But let me just try and post and see if this is working or not. On my screen it seems to be working. Is this working? With a question mark. Okay, I've posted that. I'm going to have a look and see if it comes through on my screen. It's come through, so I've sent it on my screen and it's gone to the internet, it's gone to YouTube, and now it's coming back to my screen, and I can see that it's just about to go through here in the live chat room. So I don't know whether this is location specific or something like that. So maybe a lot of you guys are having problems. I don't think it's anything to do with here. I'm getting everything's fine from my stream going out to YouTube. It's coming back as fine from YouTube. So I'm not sure that restarting anything from my side is going to help. So maybe what Carla means is everybody do a refresh or maybe restart your browser or something, and then it should work, because I know that the stream is going out really smoothly, and it's actually going out a lot more smoothly than it does has done on previous weeks. So we are getting a really good connection at the moment, so it just might be something that's location specific. So just give your browser a refresh and then see if it works after that. So we will see, but hopefully everyone can see this. And I mean, the viewers, I can see that the viewers are just about where it is normally, about 10 past midnight on the live stream. So we'll keep on going. As long as I know the stream's going out and it's not doing the loading thing, then I will continue, and it looks all fine at the moment. But anyway, thank you, Carla, for that. And also thank you, Robert, for that donation. And Robert donated $200 after that as well. So thank you very much, Robert, for that very kind donation. And at this point, I will mention about the percentages, just so you guys get a lay of the land, that 35 to 45% of the donations in the super chat window goes to YouTube, and in the PayPal donations site and link that you can find in the description below, 3 to 5% goes to PayPal. So just giving you those percentages. Thank you guys for those very early donations. It looks like now we're getting a lot more comments, so maybe people have just refresh their screens. I do not know, but it looks like we are all okay. So thank you for joining me, everybody. Jeannie has donated $5 as well, and the message was, congrats on 195,000 subs, Phil. Every time I turn around, you have more new Phil fans. Yay! With a smiley face, a heart, and some rock horns. So thank you for that, Jeannie. And by the way, if you do make a donation that you accidentally type in the wrong number, or just make an accidental donation in the first place, then just let me know and we can organise that after the live stream, and we can get it all reversed and all that kind of stuff. So thank you for these very kind donations very early on in the live stream. I know that there have been a couple in the PayPal window as well, so we'll address those in a second. But just to get everything up on screen, because we still have the likes goal that we're trying to hit tonight, which is for 315 likes. So if you do get a chance to hit that thumbs up, it will be much appreciated. It means that we can get to the target of 315 in order to have a pick roulette next week. That's what happens when we hit these targets, and then we have a chance of sending one of you lovely people a Wings of Pegasus signed pick, but also potentially a Wings of Pegasus custom-made signed t-shirt, which we will be having tonight later on, so stay tuned for that. Right, let me try and remember what I've still got to get up on screen, and we'll jump into the PayPal donations window because, like I said, there's been a bit of action in there, and this one actually came in before we started tonight, so it was a little bit early, and this came in from Suzanne, so thank you for this, Suzanne. And the message was, congratulations on 195,000. Here's a little for your new jacket fund. And we got some pictures there, I think, of a jacket and then a guitar and some rock horns. So thank you for that, Suzanne. And I was wearing my new leather jacket, or the one version of a new leather jacket, on Tuesday. And maybe I'll wear the other version on Tuesday as well. So thank you for that, Suzanne. And thank you guys for your donations for the new jacket fund, because I'll probably be wearing the one that I wore last Tuesday to the premiere in a couple of weeks' time. Even though, I mean, that one is quite light and it's very comfortable. The other one's a little bit heavier, a little bit more of the traditional hard rock / metal leather jacket, so it's a little bit more sturdy, but I will see what happens. I'll have to check if there's some kind of dress code as well, because maybe I'll have to be half smart, half rock and roll for the premiere, because from what I've seen, I've looked on the internet at the cinema where the premiere is going to be, and you've got, you know, very famous people who have attended other premieres there, and they all look very smart, so I might have to, I don't know, bypass the ripped jeans and maybe go for, I just have to try and find my smarter trousers that I've got, or as you call them in the USA, pants. We don't call them pants, we call them trousers here, but I'll have to try and find those, and maybe, maybe the leather jacket will be as rock and roll as it's going to get, but I will find out and see if I can find a good balance between rock and roll / smart, if that even exists. But let me just scroll up, because Suzanne donated again after that for £5.01. So thank you again for that, Suzanne. And the message was, just a note telling you that you rock. With some pictures, guitar and rock horns, and that Herbie Herbert, Journey's manager, passed away yesterday at 73 years old. How about doing your cover of Don't Stop Believing in honour of Herbie and Journey? Thanks. So thank you for that, Suzanne. And the covers I have to organise in advance of the live stream so that I can organise it and get it ready on the software so that I can get it loaded so that I can play them. Anyway, it means that for tonight, I think the vote is going on for either Parisian Walkways or Miles Away. So those are the two that were requested over on Patreon before the live stream. So once I saw those, I then got into the process of getting them on the software and then getting them available to be played on the live stream tonight. So I can't, unfortunately, do it I don't know what you call it, maybe off the cuff, or just do it as I'm talking on the live stream, because it would probably need to load quite a lot. And last time I tried anything similar to that, the whole live stream crashed. So I've just got to go with what I've set up for tonight. But maybe we can do that on Saturday night's live stream. So thank you, Suzanne, for that donation, and just relaying that very sad news as well. But thank you to Steve as well, who has donated £5. So thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, when you are jamming with another player, how do you form your answer to what they play? So thank you for that, Steve. And generally, when you have a jam, you'll have some kind of verbal interaction before you start playing. So you'll always have a key. So whatever chords you're going to play are going to be related to a particular key. So everyone tends to be playing in either E minor, A minor or B minor for blues, even G minor, but generally E minor on guitar is going to be very easy to jam along with, which means that your E minor is going to be changing over to an A, over to a B as well. If you want to just keep it totally minor, then you can go over to the A minor, B minor. But pretty much, you're just listening to the chord choices, at least the forms of the chords, whether they're going to be major or minor, with the person that you're playing. Whatever they are playing, they might go from E minor over to an A major, and they might go to a B major, and they might go to the minors. So you just have a little listen out. But generally, you'll stay in your minor pentatonic shape, your blues scale, and maybe your natural minor as well. You'll just start to find your way around there. But as long as you've got the key, it doesn't matter. And this is why playing without knowing the key is a totally different ball game to just jamming with someone knowing the key. Because when you don't know the key, then you can't just jump into your E minor pentatonic or your E minor scale or your natural minor scale. You can't go there. You've got to find where to go, and you've got to try and come up with melodies yourself rather than just coming up with a shape and effectively painting by numbers, because that's what you can do on the guitar. A lot of players learn scales and shapes, so they need to know the key first. If they don't know the key, then they're in a hell of a lot of trouble because you've got potentially 3 or 5 or 7 minutes of a jam and you don't know which chord is coming up next, which means you've really got to play and extemporize on the fly. And that is what I was doing on that little series I did in at the deep end, where we did a couple of episodes, maybe a few episodes on that. But yeah, definitely a lot more difficult. But when you're jamming with somebody else, you'll always come up with the key. I mean, I quite like it when you jam with someone and you're not given the key, and you can pretty much tell if you're looking at somebody play the guitar, you can see where their hand is, and you can see the forms of the chords they're playing, so it's very easy. But I sometimes like to just put a track on YouTube and just allow a playlist to play through of backing tracks and just turn off my monitor and just play along. And it's great for extemporization and just shooting, from the hip, playing off the cuff, seeing what happens. But I do enjoy that. But anyway, hopefully that has answered your question. So in terms of forming your answer to what they play, once you know where you are and you know the key, then if you can play the guitar as if you're singing, it means that if somebody plays a guitar line, if you can sing that guitar line back, which you should be able to do, then you should be able to play it on your guitar. So it's pretty much just knowing your instrument and knowing where the notes are. And that's all I'm doing with the analysis videos. When I'm working out runs that I'm listening to, I'm just hearing what they're doing. And because you should know how to sing, you should know what the guitar sounds like. Even if you can't hear it, you should have an idea of where the notes are, so that even if you're playing, and this happens on stage a lot of the time if you're playing big venues, you'll be playing and you physically can't hear your guitar because your amp might be quite far. If you've got a big stage, your amp might be quite a way back in the setup and you can't hear your amp, and the foldback might be a mix of bass, drums. The drums might be really up front in the mix. You might have the lead singer's vocal really loud and you can't hear your guitar through the foldback, and you can't run back to your guitar and put your ear next to it and play at the same time, especially if you're putting on a show. So you have to know what your guitar is going to sound like even if you can't hear it, and that's where extemporization and knowing your instrument really comes in. And that's where, if you're relying on hearing it and you're relying on scales, then you could be in a bit of a difficult situation. If you know the song that you're playing, if you're playing original material and you know it, it means that you can just go to where you know the key of the song is and just keep in your shape. And you might not know what it sounds like, but you can get away with it. But yeah, truly not being able to hear your guitar and playing along, you should, I think, as a guitarist, as a musician, and as somebody who thinks that coming up with conscious melody is a huge part of being an artist. I think that you should be able to know what your guitar is going to sound like without actually having to play it. You should be able to just do the motions with your hand and be able to sing out what your guitar would be playing. But anyway, thank you, Steve, for that. And I'm just going to scroll up because Suzanne has donated £13 and 89 pence. So thank you for that, Suzanne. And it is a straight up message. So I'm just going to scroll up again because Paul has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, plug that invisible mug, with a scary shocked face. So that is something that I haven't brought with me on the live stream, because as always with my live streams, actually I'll tell you what I was doing. I've got some new lights for the studio, or just outside the studio. So these are solar panelled lights that I was sticking up, and I actually stuck them out earlier to see if they worked. So the lights that I had that come on automatically, so they sense that you're approaching the door, because it's dark at night here, obviously, as it is everywhere else in the world. As it's dark, I can't see where to put the key in to unlock the door. So I have a light above it, and I've just changed out the ones that I have used normally that you have to charge. You have to plug them in and charge them, and they last for maybe a few weeks. Whereas these are solar panel ones. So it means that because it's outside, it means that it's getting the energy from the sun, and it's lighting, because I don't go in and out of the door multiple times during the live streams or when I'm doing an analysis video. I pretty much just come in here for, on the analysis videos, about 6 hours to 8 hours, and then I leave. So it doesn't have to power the light for very long. So I got some solar panelled lights, and they're only like, I don't know, about that big, but I've put them outside, and I was checking that they were working, and I was trying to figure out how they worked, because you had one setting which was very dim, you had another one which was medium, you had another one which was brighter. But then I looked on the internet and they said they have different settings, so that one is on all the time, one is like the sensor, another one is something else for the daytime. So anyway, I was trying to figure out what was going on, and this was all during my normal live stream setting up time. So I was in a bit of a rush to get things organized, and that is why I have not brought out my mug, because I was leaving with these things in my hands and trying to set them up. And the one that I have done tonight, I was putting up outside just before going live, and the one that I put out earlier, that was when I was trying to test what worked. But anyway, that's why I don't have the mug. I have forgotten the mug because I was walking out with things in my hand. If I had nothing in my hand, I probably would have thought, usually I have a mug at this point. But never fear, I have my big water drink here, which is always with me. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, or if you've got it over in the USA, maybe you have, but it's something called Air Up, which means, and I don't know whether you'll be able to hear it, you might be able to hear air as you drink through the straw. It's something that mixes the smell of whatever you buy. So I've got peach. It mixes the smell of peach with water, so it's got just water in the bottle, but you get the sensory information of drinking peach. So it's very clever, but that's what I'm drinking through at the moment, and it means that and I do drink a lot more water when I think I'm drinking the flavour of peach, rather than just drinking straight water. So that's what I've got in my bottle, and that's probably what I brought out with me to begin with. But maybe this is the first live stream that I haven't had a mug, and hence why we can't really plug the mug. But we can plug the mug without the mug and say, if you want to see the mugs, then check out the tray underneath this video. but you can also click on the link in the description below to go through to the store. Anyway, thank you for that, Paul. And let me just mention about the super chat window that came in before we went live, because I think that Orlando is going to be in there, which he is. And I'm just going to check the time. Okay, Orlando donated $2 very early on and says, give the likes a spike, with actually some rock horns. He usually gives a thumbs up or some rock horns, so we've got those tonight, and great idea from Orlando there. If you want to give this live stream a thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. We are at 189 likes, so we are 11 away from 200, and we're still a bit of a way from 315, but we will see where we end up tonight by the end of the live stream. And then Paul donated $2. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message was, late or on catch-up crew, please spike those likes. So thank you for that, Paul, who's going to be a little bit late tonight. But hello, all you guys in the catch-up crew as well. You can still hit that thumbs up. It does help this live stream to get out there. Ginny has donated $7 as well. Thank you for that, Ginny. And the message was, hi, Phil. Thank you for doing the video, If I Can Dream. I once heard that Elvis took the demo home and sang it before the recording. So thank you for that. And that is, yeah, undoubtedly true. It tends to be the case that as soon as you hear a demo, you take it home in exactly the same way that nowadays you get sent an MP3 via email. But artists definitely would have taken the vinyl or the tape, depending on what they had, or depending the era of what they had, but they would have definitely taken the demo home. They would have had a listen to it, and Elvis would have been working out the melody and how best to sing it, and maybe even changing the melody a little bit. This is something that I'm sure Elvis would have done, given his range vocally and emotionally, how he wanted to sing it. So yeah, undoubtedly he would have taken that home. But thank you for that, Ginny. And then I think we get to Robert, who donated that $50 at the beginning of the live stream when we were live, but these donations that happen before we go live disappear as soon as we go live. So a bit of a shame, but that's just the way it works. But this is why we then have a little look back in time to see the donations while we are live that happened before we went live. But anyway, I'm just going to scroll up, because Lynn has donated £123.45. The 12345. Thank you very much for that, Lynn. A very kind donation. And the message is, I have the can't chat YouTube even refreshing blues. So here's some pounds for congrats on all the good news, and hi to all the wingers too. So everyone say a big hello to Lynn in that live chat room. And I'm trying to understand what they can't chat YouTube even refreshing blues. Oh, okay, so you're refreshing the screen and it's still not available to chat. So I don't know what's happening with that. The chat on my screen goes through fine, and when I post, it's still going through. And I'm posting, by the way, on the live stream page, so it's not even through my software, because I can do it both on the software and on the actual video that's being hosted on YouTube. So I don't know why it's not working for some people, but all I can suggest is to maybe keep refreshing and see what happens. But unfortunately, it seems like maybe it's location specific with particular servers, because I know that is something that happens sometimes on YouTube. The particular servers in certain states or places or different countries can go off, and that's something that we had. I don't know whether it was in the USA and the UK, but just the servers went down for a particular period of time and then came back, and everyone couldn't access it, which is crazy. Same thing happened on Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp, where their servers crashed or something, and you couldn't use either of those sites for very many hours, maybe even a day. But anyway, I'm just going to scroll up. But yeah, the chat is working. Oh, something's just gone through. The likeometer is not on screen. I just happened to be looking at the chat room while that popped up. So let's get that on screen. And there it is. Oh, it was perfect timing to go from 200 to 201. So there you go, guys. There's your reference point. 201 is where we're at, which means we're looking for 114. And that made the maths a little bit easier for me. So very good timing there. Just going to scroll up in the PayPal window again because it looks like this square isn't quite centralized. Move it up a bit. Thank you, Lucy, who has donated £6.50. Thank you for that. And the message is, how do you feel, fellow wingers and new wingers? Any in the deep end episodes in the works? Spike the likes, y'all. With, I think it's probably Rock Horns, A Heart and Peace. But it's difficult to see because I think maybe the brightness on my screen is too white because it's a really light pink on a white. But anyway, thank you for that, Lucy. And at the moment, there's no in at the deep ends in the works. I'm currently actually organising another meeting. This is the other big news that I've got tonight. And I know there's already midnight here in the UK, and everywhere else in the world it'll be something. I will get into the cover video that's been voted for tonight soon, but I have been organising, this is the other big news, another meeting with June Millington from the band Fanny. And she has confirmed, and we have confirmed, I did chase up the email that I sent on Friday, but we have confirmed that we will be meeting up this Sunday night. Sunday night for me, Sunday afternoon for June, and I will be doing that this Sunday, but it means that most likely the video is going to be out next Wednesday, because I've done it on Sunday to leave me enough time to edit it all together, and just in case there are any problems, because when I was setting up before, I did have a problem with it. It took me all day to figure it out, and then unfortunately June didn't get the right day, or was confused as to when the day and the time was, so we didn't do it. So we're going to be doing that this Sunday, and June has confirmed it. And June has also given me a couple of phone numbers just in case I need to get hold of her to make sure that she's there. But we have confirmed via email, and she has said she'll definitely be there at 3 p.m. her time on Sunday. So that's what I've been organising for this month mostly. The other thing that I have been organising is not in at the deep end, but under the spotlight, where we look at a particular guitarist technique playing over a backing track. But at the moment, my focus has been trying to organise this with June, and it was going to happen earlier in the month, but we just had a bit of a nightmare trying to set it up. So yes, it's not going to be for this month, but also the in at the deep end episodes, it's very difficult getting people to do it because a lot of players don't want to be in at the deep end, especially players who have a big following, and there are a lot of people who don't approach playing the same way that I approach playing. So yeah, it's very difficult to find people that are willing to go in at the deep end, and that's why it's not something that I could do every month, because I just literally was not getting any replies from anybody, and that's a bit of a shame. So I then, moved on into, I think, probably more in line with the analysis that I do on the channel. The Under the Spotlight was more of an analysis with the guitarist knowing the key and knowing the progression, so then we can have a look at their playing and they know it's all just given to them, so that they're playing, they can organise it and come up with a solo that best reflects them as an artist, and they don't have to work things out on the fly. So but interestingly, Shatner's hairpiece, which is Robin, he did a version of Under the Spotlight where he hadn't heard the track before, so check that out if you do get a chance, because that was effectively an in at the deep end for Robin. But he still sent that over as an Under the Spotlight episode, so you can check that out if you want to. But anyway, thank you for that, Lucy, for that donation. And we are up to date with the PayPal donations now. Let's jump into the cover for tonight, the cover video that has been requested. The two that I saw being requested over on Patreon were Miles Away and Parisian Walkways. And it looks like Miles Away has got 51% of the vote. So that is about as close as it gets. So I'm going to end the poll, because it might be the case that somebody votes, or a couple of people votes for or vote for Parisian Walkways, and we'll see if that is going to change or not. But I'm going to click on to end the poll, and we'll see if it does its final calculations as to which cover we are going to be taking a look at tonight. So let's wait for it to go through. Oh, by the way, I haven't even got a top tip for tonight. So anybody in that live chat room, if you want to be a top tip for tonight's pick roulette, let me know. I'll make a note of your name and you will be the top tip and you'll be guaranteed to lose. So that's the great thing about being a top tip for tonight. Let's have a look. And it was Miles Away that got 50% of the vote, and Parisian Walkways got 49% of the vote. So what happens there is it must have been 50.3 or something, and then 49.7, but it doesn't give you the points, unfortunately. But it was Miles Away that just made it. So anyway, let me have a little look down the chat room, and we'll see. I'm waiting to see if somebody throws themselves onto the sword, and Dwayne has said me, and then Francis has said pick me. So Dwayne is going to be our choice for tonight, and I'm going to put that in. And obviously the top tip has to be on the wheel. So if you haven't been watching last week and you didn't type I agree and tag Carla, then even if you're if you're the top tip, you're definitely going to lose because your name won't be on the wheel. You have to make sure that you're watching the week before, because then it's for entry for the next week, and that's what we're having tonight. So this is last week's entries. Hopefully if you watch the live streams, you'll get the way that it works. It's relatively straightforward, and you'll also get the way to enter into it, because you'll see everybody else typing and tagging Carla after we do the live stream pick roulette for that particular live stream. But anyway, thank you, Dwayne, for sacrificing yourself for the top tip for the pick roulette. But anyway, let's jump into this cover with 50% of the vote. It sounds stupid, so technically it's 51 rounded up, but this was my cover of Miles Away by Winger, of course, Kip Winger. I think I introduced it just saying about me going to France, but anyway, hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys after. Rock. Okay, so quick introduction to this next video. This is more of a tribute video to Kip Winger, as I've been to see Kip in London and with his band Winger numerous times, and once I even went to France just to watch Winger. So this is my tribute, and it's me playing and singing Miles Away, and I hope you like it. See you later. Rock!
So this is love, also you tell me, as you're walking out the door. Months go by and I know for certain it's not the love I'm looking for. Sometimes, just for a moment, I reach out and hope you're still there. Miles away, no, you're never turning back. I just can't wait anymore. Miles away, nothing left but what we had. Just when I needed you most, you were miles away.
And there we have it. That was my version of Miles Away by Winger. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Winger is one of those bands that I am into, and like I said in the video, I've been to see Winger multiple times, and Kip Winger with his one-man show as well here in London, and that was at the Underworld. Interestingly, we're talking about the Underworld and the World's End pub recently on the live stream. I can't remember what that was. Oh, maybe venues. Maybe it was being asked which venues would be a good place to go and see original bands, and then yeah, we covered all that last time. But anyway, 2, 3, 4 likes, there it is. We're looking for a few more people to hit that thumbs up. If you can do it, it would be massively appreciated to not only help this channel to grow, but to get ourselves a pick roulette next week. We'll keep an eye on that and see if we can get a little spike of the likes going on. So let me just jump into the super chat window, because I know that there have been some donations in there, and I'm just going to have to scroll up to make sure that I don't miss any out. And it was Robert, was it Jeannie said congrats on 195,000 subs, so thank you for that, Jeannie. And yes, I remember doing that one. And Robert has donated a $50 again. Thank you so much for that, Robert. Very kind donation. And the message is, discuss Mike Dawes, please, with some hands, praying hands. So thank you for that, Robert. And I don't have a video yet on Mike, at least not an analysis video from what I remember. But I think we've spoken about Mike before, maybe during a live stream, and it was something that then made me, discuss not only playing on the guitar, tapping with the guitar, tapping on melodies, and it being a totally different technique and style with hammer-ons and pull-offs in order to get the notes to ring out. You really got to hammer onto that guitar, and that's something that Mike does. By the way, if you don't know who Mike Dawes is, he's a fingerstyle guitarist who taps onto the fretboard and comes up with counter melodies. So it means you're basically adding together what would be like a bass line or a melody and a chord, sometimes tapping onto 2 or 3 strings at once, so then you get them all to ring out, and then play another melody with the left hand, for example. So you can either tap on with the right hand, a chord, have a melody going with the left hand, or vice versa, chord, melody higher up. Anyway, I think that was something that then would make me suggest Michael Hedges. If you haven't heard him, I know that he is a huge influence to a lot of the guys that are acoustic tappers that have that kind of technique, because Michael Hedges was just insane, his ability, and I know that Mike would certainly reference him as an influence, because like I said, a lot of the guys who are doing a lot of tapping on YouTube, I did say probably about 3 to 5 years ago that there has been an explosion in acoustic tapping, where you're getting a lot of artists now who are getting into that particular technique. And it isn't something that I've personally got into. I like the sound of picking with the right hand rather than tapping on to the guitar. I do tap sometimes, but it's more to do with tapping with a pick, or tapping and using my right hand in order to flick each string, because I like to get a definite sound to that string. The thing about tapping is that if you're playing and you haven't got the right setup, say for example you tap onto the guitar acoustically, it's not very loud at all. I mean, when you're strumming the guitar, you can go for it, and an acoustic guitar can be very loud. But when you start tapping onto the guitar, if you haven't got really heavy strings and you're not really going for it, it can be very difficult to get a volume that's anywhere near to then strumming and picking strings. So it's not something that I got into, but I can definitely appreciate it on a technique level. That's some of the guys, when they start also putting rhythm into it, that's another part of striking the guitar with the right hand. So you get the element of percussion thrown in with the tapping, and with the tapping you also get an element of percussion because you are striking the fretboard. So you'll hear an aggressive sound of smacking onto the strings. But like I said, I personally like to play with a pick, and also have the option to play with a pick more quietly. If you tap on quietly, you're not going to hear the note. It's always got to be aggressive, whereas I like that dynamic change with the pick. But every artist is different, so like I said, there has been an explosion in artists who are tapping onto the fretboard and not using a pick, playing fingerstyle. But anyway, thank you for that, Robert. I'm sure that Mike is probably on my list somewhere. The list is super long, but thank you for that donation. And Jen has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Jen. And the message is, because I'm fixing to do mine, was wondering if you'll be carving a Halloween pumpkin. So thank you for that, Jen. And I definitely won't be carving a Halloween pumpkin. If I have, I mean, that is a very long process to begin with, but if I had time to do that, I would spend my time doing something else. Halloween isn't something, I don't even know when Halloween is, and it's not something that I keep a track on or track of, because I'm very busy doing everything else. And yeah, this week is going to be organising the meeting on Sunday with June, and pretty much I've got things that I'm constantly doing and organising, so I don't have time, unfortunately, to carve a Halloween pumpkin. But I'm sure my sister has done one or two. I know that she's had a Halloween party with my nephews as well. So yeah, she's the one that very much gets into all of that kind of stuff. Whereas, yeah, I don't really... it's not that I don't get into it. I might watch, for example, Halloween the movie to get into it in that sense, because a movie is something that I can watch, but then do things at the same time. I can be answering messages or doing comments and, yeah, just answering all of the emails that I get to the website. So I can watch a movie, or I can be playing the guitar and maybe planning the analysis video for that night whilst watching a movie. Whereas carving a pumpkin takes your hands, and it means that I can't be typing or I can't be playing the guitar. So yeah, I won't be doing that. But my sister's done that, so I can just say that from a family perspective, she's done it, so that counts for me. Anyway, thank you for that, Jen. And Lisa has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. And the message was, the lycometer is not on screen. That's the one that I saw when I was looking at the live chat room. So thank you for that, Lisa. And Jenny has donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Jenny. And the message was, Phil, crazy question on that song Miles Away, are you playing a regular piano? Also, was Don't Cry written about a real person? So thank you for that, Ginny. And first part, are you playing a regular piano? I believe I was playing a MIDI piano on that, and it might have been this key station 49MK that I've got off to the side. It's an MK3 M audio if you want the make of it. So that is a piano that sometimes you can get pianos that just have like 1 or 2 octaves. If you're just using it as a MIDI trigger, where you can maybe get 1 or 2 chords. Whereas this keyboard, I mean, I don't know whether people know about keyboards, but this is a 4-octave keyboard. So it means it gives you a little bit more of an option if you wanted to put a little bit more in there. And I could have played, if the reason that I didn't use the one in the background, as I can move my head, is that that one is obviously a lot bigger, but it has to be attached via MIDI rather via USB, which this is a MIDI keyboard, but it's connected via USB. So it means I don't have to worry about setting things up. I can just literally just flick it on and then it will work, and I don't have to go across the other side of the room. Sometimes MIDI can be a little bit hit and miss whether the computer's receiving the signal or not, and you might plug the out to the out and the in to the in, which means it doesn't receive the signal, and then you have to flip it round, because sometimes getting round the back of the interface is a bit difficult to see the ins and the outs. So anyway, yeah, just to make it easier, this is why I've got a 4-octave keyboard here, so that I can still trigger the sound. So the piano sound that you're hearing is a triggered piano. I think it was a Steinway piano, and I think they have different versions of it. So you have maybe hall or concert, maybe, I'm not sure it has cavernous, but they have the types of reverb that you have that have been added to the Steinway piano that you're playing. So that is what's being triggered on that particular video. I can't remember which piano it was, but it's in Logic Pro 10, one of the options in there. But yes, I used the MIDI, the USB MIDI keyboard for that. But anyway, thank you for that, Ginny. And Stan has donated $2 as well. Thank you for that, Stan. The message is, hello all. So hello Stan, and everyone say hello to Stan in that live chat room. So I think we are now up to date with the super chat donations, so thank you guys for all of those. We're not up to date with the PayPal donations yet because another one has come in there, but by the way guys, if you do get a chance to hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. We're at 267. We're aiming for 315 tonight, and wow, let's challenge myself to do some maths. That's going to be 48 more people we're looking for to get. Just trying to make sure that's right in my head. Is it 48? I do not know, but maybe if we can get 3 more likes, that'll make it more easy to work out, because that'll be 270. Which is 30 and then 45, 6, 7, 8. Yes, so it was 48 more people in the live chat room. That's what we're looking for in order to hit that thumbs up. We'll see if we can get a little spike of the lights going on. But just having a quick look into the PayPal window to get everything up on screen. And, well, I think I disappeared that one. So let's see Lucy's donation in there of £2.75. Thank you for that. And the message is, what is the scariest movie you've watched? Mine is The Exorcist. Still have a hard time watching it. So thank you for that, Lucy. I'm not sure I've ever seen The Exorcist the whole way through. I've just seen the classic scenes that always get shown up on TV and YouTube. Maybe I saw it at one point, but I joined it late. I don't think I watched it the whole way through. I mean, Halloween, I wouldn't say that I get scared particularly by the movies. I'd say there are movies that make you feel a bit uncomfortable. Maybe The Omen. Have you seen that? I mean, I'm talking about the old version of. I know that they remade it, but I think the original version of The Omen was just. If I would call it scary or uncomfortable, I would watch that because of the fact that a lot of weird stuff happened with the production of that movie where people died, and quite a lot of the production crew, or at least more than you would expect, died either during or after the making of that movie in really weird circumstances. And yeah, that's something that I looked into. So I mean, that is scary on a level that you can say is more than the movie, because of the things that happened during and after the movie that are real life. So it no longer just becomes a movie that was a bit uncomfortable, but some scary things happened after the movie and during the movie to some of the production crew. But anyway, yeah, you guys can look into that if you want to do a Google search on it. So that was probably a scary movie in more than one sense. I mean, Halloween, when I first watched that movie, I think I was probably quite young, so I probably did find it uncomfortable or scary just because of the mask. I think it's Michael Myers, the mask, who was wearing that. And I always, whenever I say Michael Myers, I always think of the guy, the comedian who did the Austin Powers movies, because I'm sure that his name was Myers as well. I always think, am I saying the wrong name when I say, but I'm pretty sure that Halloween was Michael Myers and that the comedian has another name that is Myers. But anyway, yeah, the mask that he wore, I think I found that pretty spooky, pretty scary when I watched it for the first time. Yeah, that's pretty much all the ones that I can think of. Was there a movie? I saw a movie relatively recently that was about space, and it might have been called something like Life, where they found a life form that was like, I don't know, like an octopus, and it grew, and that was quite uncomfortable because it kind of went in the guy's mouth and was just a bit disgusting. So yeah, that was a bit of an uncomfortable movie. The only problem that I had with that was that when you're in space, there is no gravity. And I start to analyze things and think, well, that's not very realistic because that wouldn't happen. And how would the alien be able to propel itself when it's not pushing, like when something's got momentum in space? Even if you pushed against that, you're still traveling at the same speed that whatever is traveling. So say, for example, something's traveling at 15 miles an hour and you push off them at 7 miles an hour, you're still moving 7 miles an hour in the same direction. You've just decreased your speed. Anyway, starting to sound a little bit geeky. But so I was watching that film and there are parts of which I thought, well, would it be able to propel itself that accurately against the the natural momentum of things that you'd get in space? Anyway, that was a film that I thought was a little bit spooky, but not spooky, more uncomfortable. And at one point, one of them had this alien on them and they were outside the ship. So I would have thought that the sensible thing to do would be to sacrifice yourself to save everybody inside the ship and therefore the Earth. Because that's, if you haven't seen the movie, I don't want to spoil it for you, but that was the main point, was they were trying to stop this alien getting to Earth because it was obviously just a killer alien and very intelligent. So if it was on the person, I would have held it and then pushed off, holding it into space, because then, of course, you're going to die. The other bonus was, the bonus was that the woman who had this alien on her, she was dying anyway. So she only had like 30 seconds to live because she was drowning in her suit. So you know you're going to die within 30 seconds, so it's not even going to be a long death. So hold on to the alien, launch yourself off the space station as hard as you can, holding on to the alien. That means you're going to die in 30 seconds and the alien is now on you going into space, and there's no way that it would be able to project itself accurately back, because if you push off hard enough, it wouldn't be able to push off hard enough back to get back. Anyway, that's I've got really in depth with obviously space and gravity, but that's something about that film that I didn't understand why the person didn't do that. That was your opportunity to totally get rid of this killer alien. But that's Lucy's fault for asking me about. I just remembered that movie that I've seen recently, and that was just made me feel uncomfortable because it kind of went in their mouth and is a bit disgusting. But it also made me uncomfortable from a real life perspective that they could have got rid of the alien. And even then later on, that is an idea that they have to try and get it on themselves and then launch themselves out to space. So they kind of already admitted in the script that that was something that they should have done. But considering the fact that the person was going to die anyway. But anyway, let's move on with this live stream. And I think I saw somebody said, who sent Phil down this this conversation or this hole? And that was Lucy's fault. So but I do find all these kind of things interesting about space and aliens. I've watched a UFO documentary that they've just released on Sky about, but let's not get into that too much, but just admitting the fact that there was $22 billion spent investigating aliens and UFOs, but the government have denied it for years and years and years. But then recently they said, okay, yes, we have been studying aliens and that kind of thing, and there are UFOs and we know that they exist. So there's a documentary that's just come out just stating that fact, that the government know that UFOs exist, and they've spent a lot of money trying to, 22 million a year, trying to suss out what they are. But anyway, that's something it's all leading down this weird path. And the reason that they say, or they treat people like they're crazy if they say they've seen a UFO, is because they want to discount it, because they know that it exists, or they try and laugh it off so that they don't have to release the truth about it. But anyway, all of these, I think it's not any longer what's it called, like conspiracy theories. I think it's no longer a conspiracy because there is proof that it has been going on. So you can say quite confidently there are UFOs that they have been trying to study and figure out what they are and what the technology is that they're using. But anyway, Let's move on. By the way, guys, if you enjoy this this space discussion live stream, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see if we get a spike of the likes for... This is the good thing about the discussions on the live streams. They're totally random sometimes. I do sometimes get asked things and we start talking about either fitness or aliens, you name it. But it's all interesting, I think. But anyway, let's have a little scroll up. I can't scroll up in my window. My window has frozen, but hopefully the live stream's been going on all right. We are going to be jumping into... I will get to the donations, so I think we're up to date in the PayPal donations window. It's just the... oh no, the Super Chat's all right. The PayPal is the one that's freezing. So I might have to do a bit of a refresh on that. But let's jump into the picture for tonight. We have got a picture, so let me get the background up on screen. And again, this is big news because I think we have the first ever photographic evidence of a bucket hat, and this has been sent in by Renee, so thank you for that, Renee. Let's actually get the picture up on screen, and there it is. First ever bucket hat to be shown on the live stream, and it is Renee's. If you guys receive a bucket hat or any other merchandise, you can take a picture of it or yourself modeling it, and I'll show it on the live streams. And head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, because that's where the pictures are uploaded to. And if you are a Facebook user, you can join that group and upload any picture, and I will show it here on the live stream. So thank you for that, Renee, uploading that picture. And thank you as well to Vince and Laura, and I think Carla as well, maybe, who has mentioned about this picture and me grabbing it. So thank you for that. And let's get everything back off the screen, because we are going to be jumping into the pick roulette. The reason I do a weird face is because my screen off to the left now has gone totally blank. So I'm really going to try and sort that out, maybe while we do the pick roulette, and try and do two things at once. But let's jump into this. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, Dwayne, as well. The top tip for tonight. And I'll see you guys after this. Rock. So let's try and get the pick roulette up on screen. And there it is. By the way, we're having a t-shirt roulette tonight as well. So I'm going to have to be a little bit swift and efficient with this one. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've randomized the wheel. You can see here the hearts are for the t-shirt roulette, and you can see they're all on one side of the wheel. So we'll have to see if we land on that or not. Let me see if I can find... Oh, there's Dwayne! I've noticed there's Dwayne, his name going through. Usually I can't see anybody's name of the top tip, but we have Dwayne's name in there. Let's give this a spin and see who's going to win. We will be following it up with a t-shirt roulette as well. So... good luck to everybody, including Dwayne. And while I'm talking, this is. I'm looking at my other screen because it is very bad. It is definitely stopped working. But let's get back to the wheel. It's time to slow down. And Paul is about to go through. And Carol, Kathy. Is it going to get as far as Kathy? It is. We've got Linda Z coming up. We've got Laurie coming up. Who is it going to land on? It could be Linda Z. And it is. Linda Z is our winner for tonight. So congratulations, Linda Z. Let me just move the window, even though I have to move it back for the t-shirt roulette. But there is the confirmation. Linda Z is our winner tonight. So congratulations to Linda Z. And Linda, if you can let yourself be known in the live chat room to Carla, that'd be much appreciated. Commiserations. Everybody else, including Dwayne, I retain my 0% record of choosing the winner for the pick roulette. So that's probably going to continue for quite a long time. But let me now try and get things ready for the t-shirt roulette. So I need to remove that. I need to go back to this particular wheel. Aha, this is the last Tuesday wheel, so I have found it. Thank you, Carla, for sending these over to me. And we know it's the t-shirt roulette because it has the t-shirt in the wheel. And why are things not working here? Right, let me get this up on screen, see if it works. Okay, that's fine. My other window has absolutely died, which is a shame. I'm just going to have to close it because it said it's slowing down my whole Mac. Right, so hopefully the live stream's still working. I've just assumed that you guys can still hear me and that the live stream is working, even though the other screen froze. But looking at the wheel now, it is kind of going a little bit slowly and loading. But let's give it a shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and give it a spin. See who's going to win the custom-made Wings of Pegasus t-shirt that is signed as well. Here it goes, and fingers crossed this is all working for you guys. Just having a little look into the chat room because it looks like that's still going through, and I can see Linda Z says thank you guys. So yeah, it is going a little bit jumpy because it's loading, but we have Tim going through, and Melinda, Lauren, Rebecca as well. Is it going to get as far as Chris, or is it going to stop on Rebecca? It looks like it's at Chris, and there it is. So congratulations to Chris for winning the Wings of Pegasus signed t-shirt, and it is custom made as well. So congratulations to you, Chris. If you can let yourself be known in the live chat room, that would be much appreciated so Carla can get your details. And as it is a larger package, because it's obviously to your size as well, you can let let Carla know what your size is. As it's a little bit different and a little bit bigger, the cost of postage is something that you have to organise with Carla as well. But congratulations to you, Chris, and commiserations to everybody else on that t-shirt roulette wheel. But it's great, the last 2 weeks we've managed to have a t-shirt roulette and get a couple of wins for that. So commiserations to everybody else who didn't win, but congratulations to Linda Z and Chris for winning tonight. So let me get rid of that and that. What I'm going to do is, now, I don't know where we are, 306, we're looking for 9 more people to hit that thumbs up in the chat room. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, then you can be responsible for us having another pick roulette and a potential t-shirt roulette next week if you hit that thumbs up, because we're looking for 9 more people to hit our target of 315. So, what you can do now, if you think 9 people are going to hit that thumbs up, you can start to type I agree in the live chat room and maybe just do it before the fact that we actually hit the target. So I'm going to type an example just in case we make it. I'm typing at Carla Murray, and then I'm going to type I agree. So I type Carla or at Carla, her name comes up. I then click on it and I'm typing I agree. I'll press enter in the live chat room. So you'll be able to see that go through the live chat room relatively soon. It takes a little bit of time to go through, but you'll be able to see all the names going through. There's my post there. So it just takes a few seconds to go through. But if you're not sure how it works, just copy what everybody else is doing. And we're now looking for 6 more people, so we might get there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a Phil tune. Maybe let's have a little look over on Patreon to see if one was requested. And I'm just going to have a little scroll down. Maria requested Guffest. So we'll have a little look at that cartoon. And while that's playing, I'm going to try and sort out this browser problem that I've got so that I can have a look at the PayPal window and make sure that I address all of the donations that have come through there, because I know that at least one has come through since the last one that I addressed. So let's have a little look at Guffest, a real life story, a Phil tune, and I'll see you guys after this. And this is your chance to keep typing I agree, or just type it once. Only do it once, because if you type it twice, then it'll remove your name. But do it once, and this is your chance to do that once in the live chat room while we watch this cartoon, and then wrap up the live stream after the cartoon when I'll address those PayPal donations as well. But I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Holy gosh, guys, you will not believe what I have just managed to secure.
What are you talking about? Can't you see we're right in the middle of watching Jeremy Kyle?
Well, I have just managed to secure us as the headline act in this year's biggest and only festival in Maidenhead. On Monday evening.
Monday evening? Sounds like a very queer time to have the final big act of the festival. Well, I guess it must be a bank holiday for the crowds to be there.
I think we should not check and just assume that is the case. It would be great to play to a festival crowd. I'm starting to feel nervous already.
Well, I can't believe we are going to be on the main stage. This is so awesome.
Well, it can't hurt to get our music out to a larger audience and to play on a large stage. It will be a great experience for us. Hello there, I wonder if you can help me. My band are due to headline the Guff Fest and we can't find the venue. Do you know where it is? We stupidly thought we would be able to follow the crowds, but we must be in the totally wrong vicinity. Any ideas?
Oh yes. This is Guff Fest. Are you Phil Henley?
Heck. Sorry. Yes, I am Phil. I do apologize, but I seem to have missed where it is being held. Where is the crowd and where is the main stage?
The main stage, or stage 1, is located over in that direction. Stages 2 and 3 are in the opposite direction, with the acoustic stage just in front of the toilets.
Okay, great, thanks. So where do we unload to get to the main stage? Is the space on stage to have our equipment ready while the previous band are playing? And also, how far away is the field and stage, as I can't hear the crowds and I assume it must be a long walk from here?
Note, the main stage is behind you. If you look on the floor, there is some gaffer tape on the floor running diagonally across the corner of the room with main stage written on it.
Ha! For a second there I thought you said there wasn't actually a stage and that it was just a floor divided into two sections depicted by gaffer tape.
That is exactly what I said.
Oh, I seem to have been misled by the use of the term festival. This is in fact just a room with gaffer tape on the floor in three corners of the room depicting stages 1, 2 and 3. It also seems to get to the toilets you have to walk directly through the acoustic stage while the person is performing, not to mention of course the unique aroma that is being generated from behind the stage.
This is the way we set it up every year and it's always worked very well.
How many people do you get on average a year coming to this pub? Sorry, festival.
We tend not to count in numbers as I find them misleading. I hate figures.
Great. Well, I shall take that answer as attendance is minimal. Well, we have 10 friends and family coming down at least, thank ruddy heck.
Do they realize it is £6 to get in on the door?
Holy guff. Are you yanking my crank? How can you justify that entry fee? That means you will be making at least £60 from us alone, and that is before any beverage purchase being taken into account. How much are we getting paid for this gig? Sorry, festival.
We don't pay the bands, not even petrol money, because we are totally out of order.
Well, to be fair, that seems to be common practice these days.
Yes, and also the bands that we book to play are not checked beforehand, so they could be the worst band we've ever heard.
Well, again, at least you are following the common guidelines. So shall we set up now while there is nobody around? Haha. That was a joke.
Okay. Also, we might ask you to turn yourselves down somehow, as some people prefer to watch the television, which we leave on during performances.
Fantastic. Well, do we at least get any free drinks or food? We will be here for 6 hours in total after all.
We will allow you free tap water all evening.
That's absolutely fantastic. For some reason water is something I feel like I need to stay alive, so having it from a tap for free seems like a great offer. Thank you so much.
Think nothing of it.
Oh, I will. Right, I had better get back to the van and tell the guys the good news about the extortionate ticket price, not getting paid. no stage, and no crowd. Thank you for this opportunity and this great festival. Before I leave, I must inform you this has now become the worst day of my life. Bye.
One last thing, while we were talking I could see your car was getting a parking ticket.
That's brilliant. Bye.
And there we have it. That was one of my real life stories, and hopefully you guys have had an opportunity now to type I agree and tag Carla's name in the live chat room to get your names on the pick roulette wheel next week. So I've now loaded up the PayPal window. Let me get that up on screen because I think maybe it jumped over Sue's donation of £20. So thank you for that, Sue. And the message was, congratulations on 195,000 subscribers. So thank you for that. It's one that came through earlier, but it must have frozen at that point because I didn't see it. So I'm going to now go up to the most recent one. And let me try and get this on screen so you guys can see it, because it is Linda Z in the house, our very special pick roulette winner tonight. And Linda Z has donated £5. So thank you for that, Linda Z. And the message is, hi Phil. The second half of Ginny's question was, is Don't Cry about a real person? So thank you for that, Linda Z. I totally forgot to answer the second part of that question. And no, it's not, but it is kind of written with a mind to think what somebody would have said, or maybe somebody that I know would have said. But at the time it wasn't written. It was more something that was written putting myself in somebody else's position. So that is very much the approach that it was written with. And this was the time when Griff, who you might have seen here on the channel, he and his brother had their first proper single that they released, and we play that here on the channel. But that was when myself and Griff were in the band, and yeah, so writing that song was very much a collective thought of what somebody would be thinking. But I think everybody can relate to it. But I'm not going to say it's specifically about one person that just inspired the song and then it was written. It was just a song that was written, putting yourself in a particular place, kind of mentally, emotionally, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was the answer to that. And apologies, as I totally forgot to answer that second part of the question. But thank you, Linda Z, for that donation. And like I said, congratulations on winning that pick tonight. And it looks like we're at 326 likes tonight, so thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up and ensuring that we have a pick roulette next week. This really is your last chance to type I agree and tag Carla in that comment in the live chat room, because it's going to be the end of the live stream. We're already about 5 minutes over from where we normally finish, so I'll have to be calling it a day very soon. But thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm just trying to remember, I mean, the news, like I said, June, I'm going to be doing that this Sunday. That video is going to be released next Wednesday. So make sure that you are subscribed, that you hit that notification bell. Maybe looking into the future a little bit more, in about 2.5 weeks, when I go to the movie premiere with my sister, I should be having some pictures taken by her. Maybe we'll take some pictures of stuff just randomly. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, then you can do, because that's most likely where I'm going to upload pictures to first, because I can just do it on my phone. It's just an option to do that, to upload to Instagram. So my Instagram account is Wings of Pegasus Official, I think. I don't use Instagram very much, but that's certainly a good excuse to upload some pictures and use my account a little bit more. So that's what I'll be doing in 2.5 weeks, so you can follow me over there. But if you want to not miss a video, make sure that you subscribe here on YouTube, and it means that I can remind you about these kind of things here on YouTube during the live streams, so you can subscribe. Also hit that notification bell to make sure that you get notified for every single video and the live streams as well, so you don't miss out on any of the news. If you want to really be on the pulse of the channel and what I'm up to, then you can head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. All of these lovely people at the bottom of the screen are over there, and you can get your name on the live streams if you want to join in over there as well and support the channel from a foundation, and everything that I can do is because of the support over on Patreon. So thank you guys so much for that, and your donations during the live streams. They allow me just to continue and sort out any problems. As soon as I have problems, I can address them straight away, rather than having to delay things for like 3 or 4 days or even a week or a couple of weeks, which is what I used to have to do, as I'm sure you guys can remember with the live streams, where they used to crash because I couldn't use the internet and I didn't have a backup internet provider, whereas I do have that now because of your continued support. Means that I can continue to have that backup of internet if I need it to then go live. So thank you guys so much for all of that and your support over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. I will see you guys again tomorrow night. And tomorrow night's video, I was thinking about doing something on auto-tune that I mentioned to you guys on Patreon last night, but I think also I had a lot of requests to take a look at Jay Black following his sad passing recently, so I'll probably do something on Jay Black tomorrow night. Jay Black from Jay and the Americans, so I'll probably do that tomorrow night. It's just one of those videos that is something that is more apt because of the situation, and I did say that I'd do that auto-tune video on Wednesday night on Patreon, but I'm going to substitute it for that video on Jay Black tomorrow night, and I'll do the auto-tune video on Friday night because we have a video there. So I'll see you guys at that analysis video tomorrow night, and I'll be doing the auto-tune video on Friday. But just in case you guys don't know, the auto-tune was just something that I've got a way that I can approach it now, where if anybody has a particular vocalist that they want to know if they use auto-tune or not, I'll be able to show you on screen a physical representation of whether they use it or whether they don't use it. And that's going to be done by comparing their voice with a renowned singer who is known for being pitch perfect and having a great voice. I can show you their voice and then put alongside it somebody else's voice who's using auto-tune, and you will be able to see the very large difference between those two because of the way that the waves are formed. And I'm going to show you guys how to read auto-tune visually rather than being able to hear it. A lot of producers can hear it, like myself. When you've been producing for a very long time, auto-tune is just something you can tell. Your ear can tell whether something is sharp and flat, but your ear can tell whether something is perfectly on a note for any length of time, because it just doesn't sound right. And that is something that I will be able to show you guys on Friday now, and not Wednesday and not tomorrow night. We'll do that on Friday. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'll see you guys at tomorrow night's analysis video. Thank you so much for all of the very kind donations tonight. I will see you on Friday and live again on Saturday night. So if you want to double your chances of winning in the pick roulette, make sure you tune in on Saturdays as well. Saturday and Tuesday are the live stream days, and I live stream at 12 midnight. So thank you everyone for joining me. Stay safe, follow your government's guidelines with the masks, everything that's being suggested that you do with the vaccines as well. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!